And welcome on in to another episode of Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. I'm Terry. Occupancy is back beside me, Ryan down below, and we are ready to break down some Saturday baseball. I will have 3 college football plays that I'm on that I'll give out at the end of the show as well. And of course, we got best bets at the end of the show. Tim and Nick sent in all the college or some college football best bets that they like. So we'll get to that at the end of the show. But we'll start the show how we usually do, and that's looking at the current standings. So for MLB, we're all still green in best bets. So that's great. Over under a bit tough, but it is what it is. Looking at NFL, pretty much green everywhere still. Nothing updated since Thursday. But obviously NFL tomorrow and Monday, and then it'll be updated for Tuesday. College football, everyone's big in college football today. It's obviously Saturday, so college football day, and then we'll update that as well. And then other sports, Nick cashed his over in the CFL game yesterday to move up to 2-0 and over under. But those are the current standings for the show. We'll jump into the first game that I chose to talk about today. And it won't surprise anybody what game it is. And that's Baltimore and Toronto. You can find Baltimore plus 135 to plus 147. Toronto minus 155 to minus 167. Eights and a few 8.5s available in this one. Sadly, my best bet, Bo Bichette over 1.5 bases. That streak came to an end. He did get a single, though, and I also had a plus 220 parlay with Bichette, Jansen, and Matt Chapman all to get a hit for plus 220. That cashed. Spoiler alert, I'm going right back to it today. Chapman hit 2 home runs yesterday. He's so much better at home. He really smashes the ball in Toronto. Bo Bichette, yes, he didn't cover the 1.5 bases, but he's still getting hits. So I have him on there. And Danny Jansen is quietly one of the hottest players in the last 7 days as well for the Jays. You could add Springer in there. You could add Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who's on a 10-game hitting streak in there. Really, the Jays, I love them today. Minus 1.5, plus 130, and team total over 4.5, plus 104. Yesterday was the game for the Baltimore Orioles to win. They were facing the Jays bullpen, which had Kikuchi in it. Yes, Kikuchi gave up a 2-run homer, but that's basically it. Final home run at the end of the game, which was actually good because it made the over a push, because I was on the over yesterday. So got the push with the home run for Baltimore in the 9th. But Toronto's actually closer to the Yankees than they are to missing the playoffs now. Crazy how things can change over a week and a half or 2 weeks. But I like the Blue Jays to keep on keeping on with Berrios. Berrios, really good against Baltimore in his career, continuing that this year. So I look for him to get the win and the Jays to score me 5 or more runs and win by 2. And then the Bichette, Chapman, and Jansen all to get a hit as well. Occupancy, welcome back. Orioles, Blue Jays, what do you think on this one?
Yeah, it's great to be here. Hello to everyone watching, and make sure to like and subscribe. Today I was just trying to stick to most recent data. Baltimore, 2 over, 2 under, 1 push in their last 5 on the 8 runs. Toronto, 3 over, 2 under. Bradish's games have been going under 8 on his last 5. The final scores, he's only gone over once, over 8, and 4 under 8. And Berrios, 3 over and 2 under to the 8 in the last 5. Their FIPS and ERA, those are pretty much the 2 metrics I look at for pitchers. They're a little higher than your elite pitchers, around the 4s and 5s, upper 4s. So I'm going to expect runs in this game. Terry, I really like the over 4.5 for the Jays. I think they get there. I'm going to play a tiny bit differently, but I'm just going to wait for an over 7.5 or an over 8 to come around even money. and then just try to like shake out a little bit of the odds pricing, like in the first or two innings if we get a no run in the first top half or something. Just be paying attention to the market.
All right, yeah, that's very also very good to do is the live totals, because the totals will move down. So live betting is a great opportunity as well. Ryan, Orioles, Blue Jays. What do you think of this one?
There's no play for me on this game. I probably lean to Baltimore. I think all in all, Bradish is a better pitcher than Berrios, but there's a lot of factors that point to Toronto. Their bats are much better. The Orioles bullpen is one of their strengths this season, and their bullpen isn't doing very well right now. So I lean to Baltimore in this game, and I think it's a good look that the over. It's been documented on the show that these two teams like to play overs, so that's a good look too.
Yeah, for sure. We'll move on along to the second game that I chose here, the Kansas City Royals and the Boston Red Sox. You can currently find Kansas City for plus 118 to plus 125. Boston minus 140 to minus 149. 8.5s right across the board in this one. I am glad I stayed off Boston yesterday. I was really liking Boston, looking at the run line, looking at team total, thinking that was a smash spot for Boston. But I didn't like the prices I was getting, and it kept me off. And I'm glad because they only won 2-1 and really barely beat the Royals yesterday. Now we have Brady Singer against Rich Hill on the mound today. And I'm going to back Singer here and the Royals. It's tough to back the Royals at this point. They're not playing well. They did have that stretch there where they were beating good teams and were kind of playing that spoiler. But right now they're not playing too well, but I do like Singer. I think there's a big pitching advantage over Rich Hill. So I took Kansas City first 5 plus a half at minus 120. So as long as Boston's not leading after 5, I cash that bet. I'll take a tie game as well. But looking at Kansas City here, I think if there's a spot, you can back them. I think first 5 today against Rich Hill is the spot. We'll go to Ryan first this time. Ryan, what do you think of Royals in Boston?
So I'm not on any of the games that are selected today, but I have opinions on them. And when I looked at this matchup, I really felt that you can't predict what you're going to get from either pitcher. Singer has been really good in spots, but he's also been very mediocre at times, and you either get one or the other. And Rich Hill, he's all over the map. So for me, this was a stay off play. The Royals are number 30 in the league over the last 2 weeks in batting average. They're really not hitting at all. So I didn't feel there was a strong play in this matchup.
All right. Occupancy, Royals, Red Sox. Anything you like in this one?
Yeah. Earlier in the spring, I had just heard of Brady Singer for the first time, and I started betting the games he was pitching in. He's a good young kid. I think he's got a lot of upside. He's got FIPS under 4, same with ERA. In his last 5, he's gone 2 over, 2 under, 1 push to the 8. So I'm not really leaning towards a total. I think the kind of not really seeing a clear angle there. But I'm going to look to back the Royals from a side perspective. I was on Boston last night, kind of like a luck of the Friday thing. I was just like, okay, if I have a Red Sox ticket, Friday night at home, I thought maybe that would cash, and it did, but like Terry said, barely. So today, I'm going to be looking to back the Royals on the money line, as well as look at Singer's strikeout props. Right now on Bovada, you had to take a lot of juice if you wanted to bet it. They're having it over 4.5 at around minus 145, minus 150. And that's a little much for me. But a couple of the books have these bonus structures, and you need to make a certain amount of bets. So I don't mind juice sometimes when I need to do a rollover. So I'm going to check one of my books to see if, what Singer's K props are, because I'd like to bet that today.
All right. Next up, BetStamp. Use code WILD when signing up. Shop for the best lines for whatever you are betting. You can follow me there at Let's Go Wild Picks. You can follow Ryan there, Rye_guy. Occupancy, you're there as well, right?
I have to do manual entry, so my BetStamp page is not up to date, but I've been following you guys, definitely.
Awesome. I think you can link it too as well. I think there is a way you can link it depending on if your book is linkable. I think they were adding more books, so
I gotta check because since I'm on a different state.
Yeah, for sure. No worries. But yeah, use code WILD when signing up, and make sure to find the best odds for whatever you're betting. Going on to the third game that I chose, we have the San Diego Padres and the Arizona Diamondbacks. In this one, San Diego minus 105 to plus 100. Arizona minus 111 to minus 118. Sevens, 7.5 available in this one. Zach Gallen finally allowed some runs for the first game in what feels like forever in Colorado. 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, and 11 strikeouts, no walks. And that was his worst game that he's had in a while. The previous games, he's going 7 innings, giving up 2 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts. In his last 7 games, he's 6-0 with a 0.57 ERA. Yeah, like what else? What else can I say here? And you're going to give me in the first 5. You're going to give me Arizona for minus 110, which is what I got it at. One book has minus 115. You can still get it for minus 125 at most spots. I got it for minus 110, but I'd still play at minus 125. Yes, Musgrove is very good, but this Padres team, as Nick has liked to say a lot recently, the Fradres, yes, they won yesterday. They beat up on this Arizona team, but that just makes me like them even better here. Musgrove, a pitcher I backed a lot this season, but Zach Gallen is phenomenal right now. And if you're going to give me minus 110 to back him in the first 5, I'll take that every day of the week. So it's Arizona first 5 money line for me in this one. We'll go to occupancy first this time. Padres, Diamondbacks. What do you think in this one?
Yeah, these are 2 teams who can definitely be all over the map. As you were alluding to, the Padres can look like they're a playoff contender one night, and then the next night they just can't capitalize with mediocre pitching. So with this matchup, kind of going into the year, I wanted to blindly support Gallen and the D-backs. Got a little rocky in the spring when I was doing that. But now it seems like it could be a good time. And I was watching some of this game also last night, and I don't know, like you were saying, I mean, you just don't really know what to expect. So I think I'm probably just going to lay off for now, and then kind of come back to it and see what other things I can see with it.
All right. Ryan, Padres, Diamondbacks. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, this is a really hard one to cap. They're teams that Musgrove is inconsistent, has often poor pitching. Both teams have bad hitting. Both teams have bad bullpens. They're just and they're inconsistent teams. They're hard to cap. And I stayed off it. I may tell you on the first 5, Terry, but I don't have a look on this game.
All right. We'll move on to the 4th game, and then we'll get to last pitch. The Seattle Mariners and the LA Angels in this one. 1 second while I get the odds up here. We have a great pitching matchup in this one with Kirby against Ohtani in this one here. Let me get it up. Seattle minus 104 to minus 105. So very similar all across the board for Seattle. The Angels minus 110 to minus 118. Mostly 7s, 1.6.5 available in this one. I took Seattle first 5 money line at plus 106. That is my dog of the day. Spoiler alert. Seattle first 5 money line plus 106. Kirby has been awesome. 7-3 this year with a 2.98 ERA in his last 3 games. Yes, the one game he only went 3 innings, but the other 2 games were both wins, and he gave up no earned runs in both of them against Atlanta and Detroit, giving up 5 hits in 11 innings, 1 walk, and 11 strikeouts in those 11 innings. So he has pitched great in his last 7 games. He's 5-0 with a 1.88 ERA. On the other side, we have Ohtani. Who's Ohtani? In his last 3 games, 1 earned run against Houston, 1 earned run against Houston, 0 earned runs against Toronto. He did have some rocky games where he was getting hit badly. For the most part, Ohtani pitches well. So not somebody I'm really excited to fade, but if you're going to give me Kirby at plus money, I think he is comparable to Ohtani, especially lately. And then I think the Seattle Mariners are the better team coming off a loss. They're focused, obviously, on trying to get that number 1 wild card spot from Toronto. So Seattle definitely focused on this game. But I like them in the first 5 here. Ryan, Mariners, Angels, what do you think of this one?
So this should be a good pitching matchup. This should be a 2-1 game, a 3-2 game. Neither team historically hits well. Dave had a good call yesterday. Dave predicted that the Angels were going to get to Robbie Ray, and they did. And I'm apprehensive to back an under. I'm apprehensive to back the Mariners in this because of that. Because of that recent history. Surprisingly, these 2 pitchers have been involved in a lot of overs. So there's some trends to the contrary. So for me, this was a play to stay off. I think there's going to be a lot of strikeouts. It's going to be a fun game with a lot of strikeouts.
Yeah, for sure. Both pitchers can definitely strike guys out. So yeah, you may want to look at. I know there's some books that have the both pitcher strikeout props. So if you can find something like that, definitely take that. But occupancy, Mariners and Angels. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, I agree with mostly everything that was said here. These are 2 pitchers who, this could be like the start of just really good pitching matchups, and like kind of these games where they're maybe not going to make ESPN, but like just as baseball fans, they're going to be great games. It almost like feels like a kickback and ride on an under type of game. Like was mentioned, I mean, the statistics and the data kind of talk for themselves here. Like Ohtani's FIPS and ERA are sub 3. He's a machine. He's fun to watch. Kirby, also, right around a 3. It kind of goes up and under. He's actually been trending down, getting better and better. So that's cool to see. Yeah, this game, I'm actually probably not going to end up getting to a side. Like I want to take Seattle, and I think they'll end up winning maybe the series here, but just kind of a little respect for Ohtani. Just maybe not going to jump on a side right away. But I am leaning under. And one play I really like at Bovada right now, you can get over 5.5 strikeouts for Kirby at plus 100. So that I think is a really good way to take this game, win or loss. Just root for some good pitching.
All right. Yeah, it's if someone's rushing to the window to fade Ohtani, that's not really a good winning situation. I really like Kirby in this spot, but I could see a really low scoring game as well. Last pitch, looking at the rest of the slate. I went over all of my picks that I have today. Those are the games I really focused on. The one game that I was looking at is Houston and Oakland. Priced out of it a bit, but would look for Houston at batter props. I may, after the show, if everybody's confirmed for Houston, may look into some hit parlays with the Astros. Currently, let's see, nobody's confirmed yet, so haven't got involved, but Not really much else for me on the slate. Occupancy, anything else in the MLB that you like today?
Yeah, I got the Miami-Washington game here. Got Rogers and Fetty. Rogers has pitched pretty well as of late, and every time I see Fetty on the slate, I do like to get involved in an over. So right now I'm seeing over 8 at -105. You could probably get a little better of a price at some books, but that's a game I'm going to be rooting for an over. Let's see. White Sox Detroit. I got involved with the White Sox last night, and I plan to get involved again. I like backing Johnny Cueto. I think as the standings show, the White Sox need to be winning. There's not really like a ton of breathing room. I'm just pulling up the wild card race right now. Yeah, they're on the outside looking in for sure. 6.5 out behind Baltimore, Tampa, Seattle, and Toronto. So they need to be winning every game they can. Not means that they will win, but I think they should. So I'm going to look to, having a good parlay piece for the White Sox in that matchup. That's where I think the advantage is. Not really a whole lot left. I wanted to back the Astros, but a little priced out. But I will be getting involved with the Phillies Braves. I think it's actually a really good spot for Philly. I like backing Aaron Nola. His games have been going over, 3 over and 2 under in the last 5. So, maybe they're not as sharp as like they are in the slower parts of the season. But it's still a pitcher that, like, when he's on the card, I like to get there. He's still, low mid 2s on his FIPS, his ERAs, a little over 3. And on the other side, Odorizzi, some things were said about him earlier on in the season, and not great things. So like when you track his stats, he's like more in the 4s, ERA and FIPS, and I just think there's an advantage with Nola. And then look at the wild card race, in the NL. Philly, they need to be winning too. So I like -120 for the Phillies, and that's kind of the first look here. There's a lot of games to be played today, so I'm just kind of starting slow, and we'll get the card full as the day goes on.
All right, Ryan, last pitch. What do you like with the rest of the slate?
So I do have a number of plays, even though I didn't have any on the games we discussed. I'm on the Cleveland team total over 4.5 on both of the games. One just started, and then the second half a doubleheader. So the Twins are putting out 2 recent AAA pitchers on the mound today, and I just think that this Guardians lineup, the way they've been hitting over the season, the way they've been hitting the last couple of weeks, the way they hit versus right-handed pitching, they are going to get over 4.5 runs in at least one of the games. And I'm thinking both. And the other thing to consider is that the Twins have limited bullpen options. One thing I do is I look at the RotoWire bullpen charts, and it's hard to imagine where they're going to get bullpen pitching for both halves of this doubleheader. So I think you're going to cash one of these 2 bets, and maybe both.
Not to interrupt, but Cleveland just got a home run for you, so there's 1 run on the board. If I continue.
I agree with occupancy on the Phillies. I'm on the Phillies. They should not. They're not in a position where they can lose 3 in a row. They've been winning over the last couple of weeks, and they've actually been winning at a better clip than Braves. So I just think this is a pitching mismatch, and I don't have respect for Odorizzi, and I like Nola. So this is a play for me as well. I'm also on the White Sox first 5 run line. I think that Cueto is the better pitcher of the 2 here. It seemed like a good situation. Again, the White Sox may have some issues with bullpen late in the game. They're probably not going to have Graveman available and Hendricks available. So I looked at the first 5 with that one. I'm also looking at the first 5 under for the Yankees and the Brewers. Just the way that these 2 pitchers have been going over their last few starts, and there's just been this pattern where Taillon and Woodruff start the games, and their bullpens get involved in shenanigans late in the game. And I think that's exactly how this is going to play out. It's going to be a low-scoring game, and there's going to be some shenanigans with the bullpen. The Yankees have few bullpen pieces. We may see Aroldis Chapman come back from IL today, but I really worry about this Yankees bullpen as well as the Brewers. And I believe that's it for me. The only other play I'm looking at is the Giants and the Dodgers under. There's been 9 straight unders in that matchup. We still don't have a pitcher yet for the Giants, which doesn't bode well for my under. Who knows where they're going to get pitching from at this late stage, or what they're considering. But I'm going to look at the matchup, and I'm looking for an under in that game.
Yeah, you've been on that streak for a while, the under. So it's good to stay on the streak until it ends. That's what I did with Bo Bichette. Or unless you have an edge and you think it's going to end, then stay off. But definitely streaks. I love MLB streaks because they can be really profitable when you get on them. Follow everyone in the description below. After the show is done, I'll have Occupancy and Ryan's Twitter links in the description below as well with mine. Make sure to follow everybody. Going on to other picks, for any other picks that we might have in other sports. I am on 4 college football plays today. I'm 1-0 in college football, won my play yesterday. Don't have a lot of reasons why. So I am very new to college football, but dipping my toes in here. BYU plus 3.5 against Oregon. Marshall minus 16.5 against, I think that's Bowling Green. I'm not sure. BGSU. And Michigan State plus 3.5 against Washington. So those are the 3 plays that I have. I also have Syracuse Orange, which is currently in play. But other than that, and the baseball picks, I'll go over one more time. Toronto minus 1.5. Toronto team total over 4.5. Kansas City first 5 plus 0.5. Arizona first 5 money line. Seattle first 5 money line. And Bo Bichette, Matt Chapman, and Danny Jansen all to get a hit. Same game parlay plus 220. That is it for me today. Occupancy, any other picks in any other sports?
I do a bunch of overseas hockey, but that's kind of at the end of today's slate because it's their Saturday night. So I put everything on my Twitter. And then college football, the only game I'm really looking to get involved with is Rutgers Temple. I'm liking Rutgers minus 18 and their team total over 30. That's all I got really for that.
All right. Ryan, any other picks, any other sports you want to give out?
I have a singular college football play, and that's Maryland Terrapins laying 3 points against the SMU Mustangs. And this is going to be a big offensive game. They're both offensive first teams. The Terps have Tali Tagovailoa as their quarterback. But the reason I'm on the Terps is because they get it done in non-conference play. And if you look at the current era of Terps football with their coach, they haven't lost in non-conference. You have to go back to the 2018 and 19 season against Temple. They lost twice. But they've been getting it done in non-conference, including 2 wins against the Texas Longhorns. So this is a good home spot for them, and I'm backing them laying 3 points.
All right. John says he missed the K-prop earlier. Occupancy is on Kirby over 5.5 strikeouts.
And Singer.
And then you like Singer as well. All right. We will go on to the best bet segment here. Tomorrow's show will be on at 11:30 a.m. Eastern because we will have a little bit of baseball and a little bit of football to go over. There's obviously 29 games combined, I think. So obviously we won't be going over all of them, but we'll have a few of each sport. So make sure to tune in then. Doing it a little bit earlier to make sure everyone has time to get their bets in before the NFL starts. But over under today, or for me, Toronto, team total over 4.5 at plus 104. Nick is going with Wisconsin and New Mexico State under 46.5. Tim is going with Kansas and Houston over 58.5. And Ryan, you're going Yankees, Milwaukee, first 5 under 4. Occupancy, is there a total that you like today?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a shot with Miami, Washington over 8. Current line I'm seeing is minus 105, but
all right. And then for dog of the day, for me, I'm going with Seattle Mariners in the first 5, plus 106. Nick is going with LSU, plus 125. And Tim is going Nevada. He really likes Nevada at plus 1,600 today, which is his dog of the day. Ryan, no dog today? No?
No dog for me, sorry.
Okay, no worries. Occupancy, is there a dog you like today?
Today, I'm going to go with the Kansas City Royals.
First 5 or full game?
Full game.
Okay, and do you have odds or no?
I'm seeing plus 119 in Bovada right now.
All right. And then going on to best bets. For me, I'm going to go with the Arizona Diamondbacks. I really like Zach Allen, and there's no reason really not to. So Arizona Diamondbacks first 5 money line, minus 110. Nick is going to go with Washington minus 3 at minus 116. Tim is going with Troy plus 13.5, minus 110. And Ryan, you're going Cleveland Guardians game 2, team total over 4.5, plus 105. Occupancy, what do you think here for best bet?
Getting back into it with everyone, the best bets in the standings. Let's do Kirby over 5.5 Ks at plus 100.
Right. Yeah, I might be jumping on that as well. For the show, plus 105.
Plus 100. I'm seeing at Bovada.
Plus 100. Sorry.
No worries.
All right, and that is today's show. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the content, smash the like button. We appreciate all the support. As I said, tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Eastern for Sunday football and baseball. Best of luck on everybody with your bets tonight, and we'll see you again tomorrow. The Wild season preview show that was supposed to happen today has been postponed till Tuesday, just because there was going to be 2 of us on today. Now there's going to be 6 of us on Tuesday. So make sure to tune into that. I'm super excited to do that show. So make sure to tune into that. John Taylor's locking Kirby in. Great content. Thanks, John, a lot. And thanks, Keith, as always. Best of luck, guys. And we'll see you again. Have a good one, guys.